This man never expected that his background would be so absurd. He couldn't use magic, but his father was actually the most powerful being in the magical world, the original entity of pure root magic. And this battle became the key moment to reveal the truth. Previously, Mash had withstood Macaron's heavy blow. Everyone thought Mash was definitely going to lose. Only the god-sense Macaron sensed something was off. He noticed that Macaron, at the moment of impact, had used sound to create a buffer. Mash, however, had no idea. It was then that he realized Macaron's power far exceeded his imagination. The battle escalated again. Mash initially thought he could solve it with brute force like usual, but as soon as he made contact with Macaron, he realized the situation was entirely different. Macaron's magical root was sound, and any physical contact caused vibrations to spread through his body. This meant that Mash had no way of dealing with him. He was practically Mash's natural counter. Macaron saw that Mash couldn't break his magic and stopped hiding his disappointment. He immediately used his signature move. Dot was shocked when he saw the magic formula. It was Macaron's all-encompassing, full-scale attack used to sweep away powerful enemies. There was no blind spot. Many opponents had failed to withstand this move, let alone Mash, who couldn't even handle the most basic of attacks. As expected, Mash was hit head-on. Macaron even thought the fight was over. But Finn clearly saw that as Mash was hit, he forced himself to use an earth-digging spell to burrow underground. Sound, being a form of vibration, loses power when blocked. Mash used this to avoid damage. When he emerged from the ground and saw Macaron half-buried in dirt, he wasted no time and kicked him. The audience could feel Macaron's pain, but Mash didn't stop. He pinned Macaron down and unleashed a series of heavy punches, almost like he was beating a wooden post. It wasn't until an immense magical power burst from Macaron's body, with musical notes wrapping around him, that Mash's attack stopped. When the light faded, Macaron had transformed into the appearance of a child. That was his true form. Macaron's power surged dramatically. He began to provoke Mash. After adjusting his stance, Mash threw a punch. Macaron was right in front of him, but Mash completely missed. No one saw where Macaron went. The next second, sound came from the air, and Macaron had appeared in the audience seats. His speed was so fast it was almost at the speed of sound, practically indistinguishable from teleportation. The only way to catch him without using magic was to be faster than the speed of sound, but for ordinary people, that was impossible. The scene repeated itself. Mash was being continuously attacked, unable to react in time, until he was backed into a corner. But then, Mash suddenly came up with a plan. Macaron thought Mash was just stalling for time, but he didn't realize that danger was approaching him. Macaron teleported to Mash's front again, preparing to strike, but his hand was suddenly covered in tartar sauce. Without a snap of his fingers, he couldn't cast spells. Macaron couldn't react in time and was knocked down by Mash. Dot thought the fight was over, but Lance calmly reminded him that Macaron hadn't used his second-tier magic yet. And indeed, Macaron, after acknowledging Mash's strength, took out his wand. In an instant, a huge purple clock appeared in the arena. Macaron explained that when the bell rang in 1 minute, its power would be enough to kill instantly. The range could cover 2,000 kilometers. Although it was only affecting the arena for now, to stop it, they would need to take his wand. On the surface, this sounded simple, but to catch Macaron, who was faster than sound, within a minute seemed nearly impossible. Mash was once again at a disadvantage. Time ticked by, and when only 10 seconds remained, Macaron was confident he would win. But he never expected that Mash suddenly plunged his hands into the ground and lifted the entire arena. Macaron was stunned. He finally realized that his escape route was completely blocked. In this situation, Macaron could only run left or right. Seeing Mash's direction, Macaron judged that the right side was the right way. As soon as he ran to the right, he found Mash waiting for him in the same direction. It turned out that